Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. In today's video I'm going to be doing my first Halloween look of the month, which is honestly just mind-blowing that I've gotten to this stage of the month without doing like a specific Halloween look. I can only apologise, but I'm doing it today and this is one of my favourite Halloween looks. I did it last year, but obviously I wasn't using cruelty-free products then, so I'm reimagining it with some of my favourite products that I've found this year that are cruelty-free. And basically, if you've got a fairly decent makeup collection, you've got a red lipstick and you've got a black eyeliner, you can do this look. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it's probably what I'm going to be doing for Halloween because I just love it. So I'm going to be starting with the base because, like I say, it's all about the lip. This whole look is about the lip, so everything else is just going to be whatever you want, basically, whatever products you want to use. I'm going to go quite full coverage because that's the sort of person that I am, but obviously you can just use whatever products you've got. For foundation, I'm using the Catrice True Skin Hydrating Foundation, and I'm just going to do a pump and a bit of this. I want the base to be quite full coverage, quite flawless, quite... I don't know if glam would be the word that I would use, but I do want quite a lot of coverage, just because I am going to be going in with, obviously, a red lip, so I want to cancel out all of the redness in my cheeks. So I'm just taking the foundation like over my eyelids and right up under my eyes as well, just to start cancelling out the old dark circles. But I am going to go over with just a little bit of the 17 Second Skin Enhancing Concealer in the shade 002N. And I'm just going to brighten these old eye bags. So I'm quickly just going to go off and do my brows. I've got a new brow pencil, so I don't know what this shade is going to be like, but I'm going to try it out anyway. It's the Collection Incredibrow in Brunette, so we'll see how I go with that. I also will be using the Beauty Bay Brow Fixer in Sable, so I'll be right back when I've got some brows on my head. So that is the brows on. I'm not sure I love the colour of that pencil, but that's also not what this video is about. So I'm going to go quite cool toned with the bronzer and the blush. So I'm using the Profusion Highlight and Contour palette, and I have this in the lightest shade. I do believe there was a few different shades. I will have got the lightest one. And I'm just going to go in with this most cool toned bronzery contoury shade on the bottom row with a big old fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna sort of bronze with this, like where I would normally put a bronzer, but obviously it's Halloween, we've got to go a little bit dead looking. So I am just putting this sort of everywhere that I would normally put a bronzer, like I'm going right across the top of my head and everything, but it is much more cool toned, so it's giving the illusion of being spooky. I'm also just going to take that like across the eyelids, just so that the colours are basically all the same, and I'm not doing anything special with the eyes today, so I'm happy with it just being like that wash of like the same sort of a colour. And then for blush, I brought it over here, the MUA one. Honestly, my table is such a mess. This one, the MUA Blushed Liquid Cream Blush in Rouge Noir. So as you can see from the little colour there, it's very much more cool toned. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand, and then I will get it on my brush from there. So it's very deep, very, very cool toned, and I'm just gonna go in lightly, not go too crazy, but I do want some of that beautiful deep blushy colour. I don't know if I've ever used this colour on my face before. I think I've used it on my lips, but not on my face, but I love that. That's a beautiful autumnal shade. That's so pretty. I've got to use that more. Like, not just for a Halloween sort of crazy look. I'm going to, at this stage, just put a little bit of lip balm on. So obviously we're going to be doing quite a bit with the lips in a minute, and in case you missed it, I have been unwell. I have been suffering with a cold, so my lips are struggling, but I needed to like get some Halloween things filmed, so we're just gonna have to power on through. For the eyes, I'm just going to do a very basic wing and quite a lot of mascara. So I'm using, and this is the same liquid eyeliner that I'm going to be using for the statement part of this look, the Profusion Everlasting Waterproof Liquid Liner, and I'm just going to do a very basic wing. And obviously, like, because it's like the lips are red and a wing, like it does sort of all tie in together, she says, hopefully. Okay, so I'm also just adding a little bit of mascara. This is the Beauty Bay High Key mascara, and now we can move on to the star of the show, because I am aware at this point it does just look like I'm getting ready for a standard day. I will be making this spooky, so I need to firstly wipe off the lip balm that I just put on. And the lipstick that I'm going to be using today, I feel like this look looks best with a really bright red or a really bright pop of colour. So it's got to be this one for me, the Sleek Say It Loud Satin Lipstick in Gin and Juice. Absolutely incredible, bright orangey toned red. So I'm just gonna apply this. I'm not going in with a lip liner. You'll see why in a moment. And then once I have very, very roughly sort of applied this lipstick, I know that this is not neat. I'm taking a sheet of toilet paper and I'm separating out the plies, and then I just need to find my setting powder. So then I'm just taking my pressed setting powder from the top of this IRL Duo Revolution powder thing, and I'm just going, I can't talk whilst I do this. I'm going to put this over my lips, and then I'm tapping over with some of that powder to set the lipstick in place. So that's the first set. Like, it's taken off quite a bit of the product, but I'm going to do the same thing again because I really need this to be set. So now I can feel that this is like setting down now, and that's going to stay put. And then I'm going back in with this liquid eyeliner, and you do really need one that is waterproof, obviously because it's going near your mouth and you're probably going to be drinking or eating. I mean, I do recommend and I will be for the rest of this video drinking with a straw, so that you're not moving your mouth too much to keep the lines as neat as possible. And like when I wore this look for work last year, I used the same eyeliner. I think, honestly, I've slept since then, I can't remember, but I was just like drinking water all day with a straw and like cutting my food up into like tiny little pieces so that I wasn't disturbing anything. The things that we do for makeup. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking this eyeliner and I'm really like scraping off a lot of the product off the brush so that the brush is really fine, and I'm just going to overline my lips but with the black liquid liner. And I do also recommend getting a product, an eyeliner like this, where you physically dip the brush back into the pot that has the product in it, rather than something like a pen, because you need all of that product to be like right at the end of the brush tip so that you can apply a really thin line, and I just don't feel like you really get that with a pen, or I don't in the ones that I've tried anyway. So just dipping back in, scraping off most of the product to keep that brush tip really nice and fine, and just really take your time. So then once I have overdrawn round the lips, I'm going in with more liquid liner, and I'm trying to think, when I did this look last year, I think I just went sort of straight out with these next lines. Like, do I want to go up and make it look like a smile? No, I think I'll just go straight out. I think I'll just do what I know. So as you can see, this is like not neat at all. It doesn't necessarily have to be. So I'm going to go from the corner of my mouth and just sort of go straight outwards. Like so. And then I'll try and do the other side somewhat the same. And then I've just made the lines a little bit thicker, like as they join up to the lips. Obviously you could make this line like as long as you wanted, but I'm just going to do it like that for now. And now I'm going to go over all of these black lines with more black lines to make it look like all of this is stitched together. And again, I don't want any of this really to be symmetrical. I'm going to like purposefully make this next bit unsymmetrical. So I'm just going to draw, I can't talk whilst I do any of this, but I'm just going to like draw over like stitches to make it look like it's all sewn together, but obviously like not incredibly well. So that is the finished look. I will zoom you in so that you can see the detail in all of this. It's definitely not my neatest work. It's also definitely nearly midnight, but I feel like it's very easy to do. If you've already got a liquid liner and a red lipstick, you can do this look, and I absolutely love how this has turned out. I feel like looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, my lips have been stitched together, so like I can't talk properly. Like, I'm incapable of opening my mouth any further than this. I can open my mouth just fine. It's just the psychological of looking in the mirror and seeing all of this going on. Let me zoom you in. So that is all of the detail. Some of the little lines are a little bit wonky, but you know what, I feel like that just adds to the overall Halloweeny, spooky vibe of the look. And like I say, I did this look last year. This is what I actually wore for Halloween last year, for going to work. And this is probably what I'm going to do this year as well, because it's just so easy to do, firstly, at like 6:30 in the morning before I go off for a day at work, and it just looks so effective. And I feel like if you wanted to, you could really like exaggerate these lines. You could do something on the eye if you wanted to, or you can just leave it at that. And I think it looks so impressive for the sort of minimal amount of effort that you put in. Obviously for some Halloween looks you can put in hours and hours and hours and hours. And I mean, I've only been filming for 39 minutes, so I think I've done quite well, and especially considering that I'm rambling a lot. So that is my first Halloween look of the season. Let me know if there's any other looks that you want to see, like before, obviously before Halloween, before the end of October. I have a few more days that I need to fill, and I would love to do more Halloweeny sort of looks. So let me know if there's anything that you do want to see. I'm more than happy to do some more Halloween looks. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye!